Hi, I'm John McAuliffe, Chief Marketing Officer of VFM Leonardo, and welcome to the VTV channel. Today we have Josiah Mackenzie with us. Josiah is a former software and advertising executive. He uses his background to help hotels and travel businesses create great experiences driven by today's technologies. His blog, Hotel Marketing Strategies, has become the #1 provider of original hotel advice, marketing advice, serving tens of thousands of hoteliers around the world on a monthly basis. Josiah, thank you for joining us on VTV today and welcome.
Thank you, John. It's good to be here.
Our topic today is called guest sourcing, the art of turning your guests into content producers. Josiah, I know that in the past you and I have discussed the power of useful content in any hotelier's online marketing strategies. You've coined a term called guest sourcing. Can you share with our audience what you mean by guest sourcing and why a hotelier should consider this to assist them in building a valuable content strategy?
Sure. I define guest sourcing as, I actually coined the term guest sourcing to describe the phenomenon of sourcing content from our guests and customers in the travel industry. It goes by other terms such as crowdsourcing and user-generated content. But the whole philosophy behind guest sourcing is collecting this, sharing it with other customers and guests, and allowing them to really help each other.
So what are the advantages of guest sourcing when it comes to producing content?
I think for the advantages, it's good to look at an example outside the hospitality and travel industry. And probably one of the biggest projects that's one of the best well-known is Wikipedia. It's this enormous website that's entirely written by the users. I think it's something like 25 times the size of Encyclopedia Britannica. And that would have been almost impossible for one organization to do. But when you get everyone involved, you get an incredible depth of information and a lot more updated. It's very relevant to many very niche topics. And so I think looking at Wikipedia is a great example of what this could be.
Do you have an example from within the hotel industry?
Sure. On a broader scale, I think TripAdvisor is a good example. Again, the #1 travel website in the world, built entirely around the concept of helping guests and travelers help each other and plan their trips and review establishments. Looking at the smaller level, there's many organizations that are experimenting with that. Last summer, Omni Hotels ran a special promotion called Omni Flips for Summer. And they gave a small flip video camcorder to people who booked rooms with this special promotion, this special package. And they encouraged them to go out there, record video of their vacation, and then they were going to take that video, package it up into this nice slick video to give back to the family. And the agreement was that they could also share this online as well for their own promotional materials. And I think that's a brilliant concept because you're having people record what they enjoy about your establishment and then getting that information out there so that potential future guests can sort of see that through the perspective of travelers just like them.
So let me ask you, Josiah, I mean, certainly there's a demand and interest amongst the travel consumer to view or read user-generated content. But is there a way for a hotel to actually use that to produce their own content as well?
Sure. I think when it comes to content production, there's several things that have to take place. First, you can just begin with looking at information that's already been published online. Searching a website like Flickr for photos of your destination or your city. You might look on YouTube or search Twitter. Run some Google searches to find blog posts and reviews that may have come up for your establishment. And so think about the information that's already published out there. Try to bring it together. Maybe you set up a blog or an account on Tumblr where you're bringing together this information and sort of turning the spotlight on the media producers. And then you may want to take a little bit more of a proactive approach where you publish some information on your website. You let guests know that you have this special program running where they can take photos, they can upload video, and share a little bit of their guest experience, and then you're going to highlight that. Maybe you want to give away some sort of a special reward or prize. Maybe you just want to put it on a website and give them some extra publicity. But it's all about thinking what's in it for them. I think too often many organizations think well, of course the guests will want to spend their whole vacation producing media for us. So there needs to be some tie-in to thinking what the benefit is for the producer of that content. Yes, recognition is a good benefit, but also perhaps you may want to do some editing like Omni did, turning that raw video into a slick, polished vacation memory, and then where there's a strong benefit for the person producing that content.
So what, in your opinion, what do you believe are the traits of effective guest sourcing?
I think effective guest sourcing takes into account that we need to understand what people want to find out about our destination or our establishment before they visit. So are they looking for photos? Are they looking for written experiences about some of maybe the out-of-the-way places where you can experience your city like an insider? So it goes back to understanding what these people want and then creating content around that. I think some of the more interesting implementations of this idea are where you proactively reach out to media producers like photographers or travel bloggers, and you create whole programs around this where you proactively reach out, invite them to come visit you, create media around this, and really be sort of a media production team.
How do you make sure that travel shoppers find all of this content that you're producing?
Well, this is huge. I think when it comes to any type of content marketing, if it's not seen, if it's not visible, it's practically useless. So as much time as you spend producing the content, you need to spend promoting it. And so that can begin with highlighting it on your website. Often for this type of a project, it can be useful to create a whole separate domain, a separate website. So perhaps something like your city name and then insidertips.com, something like that, where there is this really easy to remember domain name, and then you can focus on marketing that. And I think that is perhaps where it ties into some of the more traditional aspects of marketing. Maybe you want to run an ad campaign, maybe you want to try some search engine advertising or marketing, maybe you want to try some social media production. But again, it's crucially important that you make sure that you're promoting this aspect of your content.
So it appears that, once again, Josiah, the best way of building an effective marketing program is by listening to our guests and understanding what it is about our hotel that they are looking for and finding enjoyable.
Absolutely. Listen to them in person, listen to them through mail, through email, listen on social media, both direct messages that you receive and also what conversations people are having around broader topics such as your city or your segment in the industry. It's all about listening. This is what differentiates mediocre social media and new media performance from the rock stars out there. People who really succeed are the ones that are listening. And so set up a listening program first, regardless of what your investment is. This is it's a very, very low cost way to get engaged, but start out with listening.
Great. Josiah, thank you very much for sharing your insights with us again today on VTV.
Thank you, John.
To all the viewers out there, be sure to post your comments on this episode of VTV and subscribe to our feed to receive more valuable insights from industry experts. If you would like to suggest topics that you would like us to cover in future episodes, please feel free to email us at vtv@vfmleonardo.com with your suggestions.